Welcome to September 28th, 2024, Fernley, Nevada, housing market update. So we've had some updates in the news with the rates and all those fun things that is stirring up the market. Already seeing refinances on the rise, and we do anticipate buyer activity to increase as well since affordability has improved. So it's going to really help the market. We've been talking about some earlier reports about I think there's going to be unseasonably busy behavior in the fall and winter months. So as long as affordability continues to improve, that should really help that. So let's jump into the market and what's going on in Fernley. Right now, median price just broke the 400 mark. Most of the time, Fernley does bounce a little above and below, so it hasn't really moved that much. You can see the trend line. Prices haven't really gone up or down. They're kind of holding pretty strong and stable right now. Up a little bit from last year, but not really that much. It kind of increased a little bit from this time last year all the way up to right about spring. And then about spring, we've been kind of seeing it level off, maybe a couple back and forth, but not much. And when looking at this data, don't forget about new construction. There's a lot of complexes right now being built in Fernley that are fantastic options, great prices too, and also special loan programs. So a lot of these, you'll see payments that are comparable or sometimes even lower than the resale markets. So a lot of the data I'm talking about here, just remember it's only resale homes or the handful of new construction homes that the builders chose to put into the database, the realtor database. There's lots of homes that are moving right now in Fernley that are not a part of this data. So if you're out exploring at homes, go take a look. There's two builders right now. Genuine is building homes. D.R. Horton's building homes. So they have three complexes right now. They have Tuscany, Nevada Sky, Sequoias. So they have three different developments happening right now. Genuine has Traditions and then also Legacy Trails. So there's a lot of selection out there beyond the resale homes. If you're looking at price ranges anywhere from 400s to 500s for the new construction homes in Fernley, there's a couple that might be below the 400,000s, but generally about 400s. Genuine's up in the 500s. So if you're looking at homes in the 400s, D.R. Horton's a great fit for you to go and explore and consider. And then if you're in the resale market, 300s, those type of things. That's a great selection. There's a lot of homes for sale in Fernley in the 300s. Let's jump over to closed units. So 14 homes sold last week. So give or take, you can kind of see a little bit of volatility right now going back and forth. It's anywhere between 5 to 10 homes all the way up to 15 homes. You can see a little bit of a recovery. But if you look at overall between middle April and today, I don't really see a lot of change. I see volatility, but I don't really see any upward or downward trend like you do near the left-hand side for New Year's Day all the way up to April, May. So pretty level right now. And then also remember the new construction homes aren't going to be a part of this. So they might be selling 5, 10 homes a week. And that data is not going to be reflected on here. But 14 homes in the resale market in the MLS database market. You can actually see from this year to last year that we're up a little bit. It got pretty slow there for a while on the left-hand side. And remember, this is right about the time, I have to look week over week, but this is when interest rates got really rough. Like the highest they've ever been in decades was this time last year that really slowed down the marketplace. The opposite now, right? We have rates going down, and that's making buyers enter the marketplace, waiting for the change to happen. We are entering a new market cycle. We are definitely within 6 months of this market cycle coming to an end and beginning a new one. So we are seeing different behaviors because of that transition. So a lot of buyers are out in the marketplace. You've probably already seen the news that refinances are up on existing properties. All that is from the news about the Federal Reserve is starting to change rates. So that's even though that the mortgage markets don't follow that, it still stirs up buyer interest and buyer activity. And we're seeing that out in the marketplace right now. Jumping over to pending units, pending sales. So you can kind of see a little bit of the same week over week. I mean, gosh, even back to April, it's, bounced back and forth, but not much. Give or take about 10, 11, 12 units per week is pretty typical. You'll see some stuff kind of dip down there, but then it quickly recovers. So I would say just in general, in the resale market, the database of the realtor market, about 10 homes a week is what is currently going under contract. But you can also see it's not slowing down. Volatility, absolutely. I use weekly data. Look at the trend line. It's generally not going down. And actually, you could kind of argue that it's been going up since about mid-July. But overall, if you look from, spring to today, it's still pretty level. Not big upward trends, not downward trends, which normally we start seeing that because we're at the end of the season right now. But with these rates changing and buyers getting back in the marketplace based on their understanding of we're in a new market cycle, we might see this stir up a little more so long as we don't have snow and ice. That's going to be the one thing that could slow down the market. So I think winter will be determined more not by the market, but by the weather. If we have a nice dry winter, I think we're going to have a very active winter and fall compared to the last 2 years. And then if it gets super icy, super snowy, then that could slow things down pretty quickly. Let's talk about days to contract. So we are seeing a little bit of a trend here. You can see it slowly start to increase. Right now, it takes about just a little over a month to find an acceptable buyer on a property. And you can see it actually got pretty low for a while, down to about 3 weeks. If you remember when we were talking already about the start of summer, I was telling you the market moved around 3 to 4 weeks. Not the case anymore. We are starting to see that upward trend. So you can see right about the start of June, see how it's starting to tick up there. So homes are sitting for a little longer. I think it's a great opportunity for contingent buyers, folks that are looking at it, wanting to sleep on it. Those are fantastic homes for those type of buyers to consider. But they're sitting longer now. It is taking a little bit longer. But once we see affordability improve, which is happening as we speak, over the last 3 days, affordability has improved with regards to lending. We could start seeing this go down again as more buyers enter the marketplace. We'll have to see what happens. You can see it's already had a big drop down. If that continues week over week, then we can say that affordability has improved and then the market's more active because of it. Right now, not quite yet. A little bit of an upward trend, hint of a recovery right at this week. We'll have to see how a few more weeks of data go to see if we have a downward trend or not. Active inventory. So this stuff we just have to look at with season. So it's interesting because you saw kind of the trend lines holding pretty steady, but now with active inventory, absorption rate, things like that, it's actually starting to go down. So we can kind of see right about the start of August is when we started seeing inventory go down in the Fernley area. Does that mean seasonality? It possibly could mean seasonality has kicked in. So where I was talking about unseasonable behavior, referring a lot to the buyers, we'll see what the sellers wish to do. So you can kind of see on the left-hand side there that we peaked out right about the end of September and then started our downward trend. Take a look at the other hand side. We're about a month ahead of that schedule. Gosh, even 2 months, if you kind of think of it that way, that we've peaked out and on the downward trend. I don't know if it's going to recover. That's quite a big recovery that's needed to behave in the same way as the left-hand side, right? It was peaking out right at the end of right at the end of September, beginning of October, and then doing its downward seasonal holiday trend. Yes, we had a nice increase compared to this time last year. So there were more homes to choose from this year than there were last year. And right now it's about the same from this time last year, but we're already starting our downward trend. So you can see it kind of goes downward all the way into the New Year's season. It just depends on how much sellers are considering their move. If they are really at their limit of where they're living and they need to buy a home, then maybe they'll enter the marketplace when they otherwise wouldn't have, and that will make them want to sell. So we'll have to see. But right now, it does look to me like seasonality is starting to kick in. That's a lot of weeks of decline, showing that the overall inventory is now starting to shrink, where before it wasn't even until right now that it started to shrink. It's been shrinking since, about the middle of July is when we've kind of started hitting that plateau. And then definitely by the first part of October, we have been on the downward trend in the Fernley market for a selection of homes. So sellers, if you're thinking about considering selling this year, these are great numbers. This is what you want to see. You want to see less selection in the marketplace as a seller because then there's less competition. So those are always really helpful as a seller. Now, if you're a buyer, you still have more selection than you did last year, even if it is less than it was right in the peak of summer. But then with affordability added on top of that, it could be a better chance for you to get into the market now than compared to last year. Last but not least, new units. So we already showed you that the active inventory is on the decline right now. But you can see overall, I don't really consider this a super big decline. Definitely some volatility, but you don't see that obvious kind of downward trend, upward trend. It's been holding kind of steady. So basically about 12 to 15 homes hitting the market. But remember, about that many were being absorbed through pending units. So we're not really seeing a surplus of homes. Not like more homes are being listed than being bought. It's getting absorbed in a pretty timely fashion. So that's one of the things I'll keep a close eye on for the winter months is if people are buying homes faster than folks are selling homes, and that's when we start seeing more demand, the type of behaviors that we've seen over the past years. I'm not talking about as crazy as COVID, but it could mean that there's more than one person interested in the same home. If they're anxious to take advantage of owning a home because affordability is improved, but there's less selection, then that could be a possibility that another person just besides the one buyer is interested. Could create some multiple offers. We'll see how the demand goes through the winter, but I just predict with affordability improving, that should enter more buyers into the marketplace. Sellers will have to keep up with that and decide if they want to hit the market, but I'm going to be keeping a close eye on it because if there's low competition and high demand, that's a great place to be a seller. So don't let the season fool you on being opportunities for selling, because right now I'm seeing a lot of increased activity with buyers. But if I see active inventory going down, that could be huge opportunities for sellers choosing to sell in the 2024 remaining market. Less competition is always a good thing as a seller. Biggest takeaways right now for the Fernley market: affordability has improved with rates going down. It's making more buyers enter the marketplace. There's a lot of new construction right now. Both Genuine and D.R. Horton has some brand new projects there that you can also choose from in addition to the resale market, with some great special loan programs as well. And resale homes are still sitting under the 400 mark, making for affordability really nice in the Fernley area. So on top of improved interest rates for better mortgages, as well as the cost-effective selection that's available in Fernley, make sure and check that out. If you're a buyer looking up to 400, don't discount Fernley. It's a fantastic neighborhood. The homes in Fernley would be hundreds of thousands of dollars more in the Reno Sparks market. So take advantage if you're looking for a super nice house for an affordable mortgage and affordable price. Definitely consider the Fernley marketplace. For the latest insight, tips, and market updates for the Northern Nevada real estate market, be sure to hit subscribe. We'll do weekly updates to keep you informed of what's the latest. Also be sure to explore our Northern Nevada house search.